So we'll begin by standing on our vibration plate and just take a moment and a few easy breaths to get used to the feel of vibration moving through your body. Starting at your feet, rising up through your calves, the knees, the hips, the pelvis, the waist, the back, and the upper torso. Can you even feel it in the arms and the fingers, in the neck, in the head, and all the way up to the crown, the very tip of our head? Now we can play around with seeing about the intensity levels, depending on what kind of vibration plate you have. Just playfully place your feet a little wider. Is the vibration more intense? And then go ahead and place your feet closer to one another and feel the level of vibration when your feet are close. And this is a way that you can personalize this movement practice every day that you do it. Some days you might feel like you can have the feet wider. Some days it just feels better in your body to have the feet closer together. So we're going to start with some breath, and I'll keep the time and you keep the pace. So don't feel like you're breathing too fast. Breathe in a way that's comfortable to you. So the inhale, we're going to take a deep inhale and our hands will raise up over our head, and then an exhale and the hands will return to the hip area. So we don't need to bend around everywhere. The movement is just coming from the shoulders. So go ahead and inhale, exhale. Two more here, and last one. And then a deep breath in and out. Return to a normal rate of breathing. Place the hands in prayer pose. And just take long, slow, deep breaths in and out. This is a great time to set an intention for today's practice. What do you want to get out of today? And we'll seal that intention with one Om. So inhale. Om. Wonderful. Now hands down to the sides, and then hands up overhead. And then at an exhale, move the hands over to one side. One hand can be on the hip, and the other hand stretching over the opposite side, feeling the side body stretch. We'll take a couple of inhales here. And then on an exhale, both hands up over the head. And then an inhale, side stretch to the other side. Inhale, hands overhead. And then exhale, hands back to the side. We'll start with some movement, starting from the bottom of their body and moving the movement up. So we'll start with the ankles. So let's do an ankle roll. A few times in one direction, a few times in the other direction, and then come back to stillness. And then lift up the other heel, ankle rolls on the other side. A few times in one direction, and then switching to the other direction. Both feet on the platform, and then hands out and down to the knees. Let's bend over and do some knee circles. First in one direction, then in the other direction. And then standing up again, hands to the hips, and if it's comfortable, the feet out a little bit wider, and then hip rotations. Moving the hips in giant circles. This one we can move the entire body. Feeling that, and then rotating in the other direction. Coming back to stillness, you can move the feet back together. And then we'll do some rotations of the spine. So just rotating. First one side, and then the other. Bring that back to stillness. And then the hands go out in front of us, wrist rotations. First away from one another, and then back into one another. And then bend the elbows, place the hands on the shoulders, shoulder rotations. First we're rotating up and back, and then down and forward. And then we'll do some neck rotations. First in one direction, and then in the other direction. And then we'll come back to stillness in mountain pose, feeling the movement of the plate beneath us. And playfully, can you feel some of the warmth in the joints that we just moved in different places of our body? And then on an inhale, hands up, up, up to the sky. And then an exhale, forward bend. So bending forward, you can gently touch the toes. You can touch the machine. You can just touch your calves. And then a halfway lift, hands to the thighs, and we're stretching the spine out, feeling the length in between the tip of the head and the tailbone. And then bending forward again to the feet. And then lifting up again to the sky, and then down to mountain pose. Now we'll do a balance pose. So if you don't feel confident in balancing, just lift one heel up. But if you'd like to join me in tree pose, we'll do a low tree, just balancing the heel on the calf. We'll stay here for 2 breaths. And then place the feet down together. And then we'll balance on the other side, lifting the foot just to the heel, or placing the base of our feet on the side of the other calf. Back down to the ground, lifting the arms up on an inhale into a back bend, and then forward bend down to the ground. So this was the completion of my vibration plate. So the plate is now off. If your plate is not off, you could go ahead and turn it off. And then lift up to the sky again, and then down to mountain pose. Feeling again this feeling of stillness through the body after that period of vibration. And I'll invite you to step off of the vibration plate onto your mat. You can stand at the front of the mat, bend over into forward fold, hands to the mat. Extend the right foot behind you into a lunge, the left foot behind you into a plank, and then exhaling the knees onto the ground, and then move the hands so that the shoulders are above the wrists and that the knees are above the hips. And let's go into cat-cow. So it's flexion and extension of the spine. In the bottom of the position, our chin, our chest is pushing forward. And in the top of the position, we're exhaling and hollowing out the front of the body. So let this move with the breath. Exhaling with the cat, inhaling with the cow. And a few more rounds until you come into stillness. And then I'll invite you to cross the legs behind you, roll into a seated position, into Sukhasana pose. And then we'll take a period of meditation here. I'll invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Breathe comfortably, your hands gently resting on your knees. Feeling the sensations in your body. Feeling the effects of the vibration. Feeling your lungs breathing inside of your rib cage. I'll invite you to open your eyes if they're closed. Place your hands in prayer position in front of your chest. And bring to mind again the intention you set for today earlier in our practice. Can you carry the peace that you experienced in today's practice with you into the rest of your day? Taking a deep breath, exhaling, and so it is. Thank you so much for coming and playing on the vibration plate with me. If you have time after today's practice, definitely drink water and journal in your meditation journal about anything that came up for you in today's practice. Have a great day.